Kenya TV stations still off-air despite court order. 3 major Kenyan television channels remained off-air Friday morning despite a High Court order compelling the government to allow them to resume broadcasting. In what has been seen by many as media censorship, the government ordered private channels KTN, NTV and Citizen TV be pulled from air Tuesday over coverage of a symbolic swearing-in of opposition leader Raila Odinga the same day. The television channels were turned off at 10 a.m. 2 a.m. ET, Tuesday, a move not seen in the country for years. A court ordered the government Thursday to restore all transmissions immediately pending a February 14 court hearing challenging the decision to shut down the television stations. Before the court's ruling, the Interior Ministry had said the networks would remain off-air while authorities investigate the serious breach of security after the stations aired footage of crowds gathering for the event. It's unclear whether the government will honor the judgment, but the broadcaster's signals were still unavailable on television on Friday. The channels have continued to stream online throughout the blackout. Global concern in recent days, the government's apparent censorship has made headlines worldwide. In a statement late Thursday, the U.S. State Department expressed concerns on both the inauguration and the media shutdown. It reiterated that Uhuru Kenyatta was elected president, and urged both parties to resolve their issues in court. "We reject actions that undermine Kenya's constitution and the rule of land," the statement said. "We are also deeply concerned by the government's action to shut down, intimidate and restrict the media. Freedom of expression, including for members of the media, is essential to democracy and is enshrined in Kenya's constitution." The European Union echoed the same sentiment, and urged the dueling sides to maintain calm. Kenyan people now have the opportunity to take the country forward and work together on their historical path towards democracy and development, the EU said. Following the shutdown, 3 NTV journalists spent the night in the newsroom Wednesday, fearful of arrest by police officers they said had camped outside the building. Larry Matowo, Linus Kai and Ken Mijunga said they remain holed up in the newsroom after their police sources tipped them that officers planned to arrest all 3. "We have not broken any laws. We were just doing our jobs and I have no apologies about that," Matowo told CNN by phone from Nairobi. "This is harassment and intimidation by the government." The Interior Ministry defended its decision to shut down the stations, saying the government had given the media a full security situation brief well ahead of the illegal activities of the opposition party. Unfortunately, some media houses chose to disregard this advice. The government took a decision to shut down the concerned media houses, the Interior Ministry said in a statement. CNN has reached out to the government for comment on the journalist's arrest allegations. Fractured political landscape. Odinga boycotted the country's disputed election last year, and swore himself in as the people's president at a ceremony in Nairobi on Tuesday. Thousands of opposition supporters gathered for the largely peaceful event, and throngs of supporters quickly left the park after it ended. The incident is the latest public spat between the opposition and the government following the nation's two presidential elections held last year. President Kenyatta won a second presidential term with 98% of the vote in a controversial do-over in November. The second leadership ballot was held after the country's Supreme Court invalidated the initial August vote, also won by Kenyatta, over tallying irregularities concerns. Odinga and his opposition party dropped out of the second vote, claiming the Election Commission had failed to implement reforms. Odinga's National Superalliance, NASA, says it wants to create an alternative government to protest Kenyatta's rule. But the government warned that Tuesday's events amounted to treason. At least 92 people have been killed during the protracted election period, according to a report from Kenya's National Commission on Human Rights.